It's Friday, January 24. In the headlines, government plans Trans-Jam divestment worth billions of dollars. And the government is also rolling out a citrus revitalization program. In business news, Fontana Pharmacy expands. Regionally, Clico Credit Union launches business hub in Trinidad and Tobago. And in sports, Windies test team learning on the job ahead of Saturday's second test match against Pakistan. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The Agriculture Ministry is rolling out its citrus revitalization program. Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, Floyd Green, says it's part of the government's strategy to revitalize the industry. More than 4,000 citrus plants have been distributed in Manchester, and the lands have been identified for use.
So what you will see over the next 5 years is a massive rebuild of our citrus sector, and hopefully a rebuild in a way that it can withstand the citrus greening.
Minister Green says the industry declined as a result of the citrus greening disease. However, research was undertaken to determine the varieties that are more resistant to the disease.
First, we had to do research, right? So we developed some greenhouses at Bodles that focus significantly on looking at what varieties are more resistant to the citrus greening. We've come up with a couple of varieties now, and we've started rolling them out. So in fact, this year we launched our citrus revitalization program. It's being done in collaboration with the Jamaica Bauxite Institute.
According to Minister Green, a program focusing on lime will also be undertaken because the island has a variety that can stand up well against diseases. Plans are being put in place to divest the government's remaining 20% stake in Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited, TJH, a move expected to further broaden public ownership of critical infrastructure assets. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, speaking recently at the Jamaica Stock Exchange Capital Markets Conference, confirmed that the sale will be executed through a public offer on Jamaica Stock Exchange following the requisite approvals obtained last year.
In support of wealth creation, the government has facilitated public ownership of national assets via the stock exchange. In the same vein, the government, and we're doing more, the government will very soon be divesting its 20% shareholding in Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited, held through the National Road Operating and Construction Company, NROC. This will be undertaken through a public offer for sale.
CEO at NCB Capital Markets, Angus Young, speaking on Wednesday at the conference, said he believes the government could earn about $9 billion from the divestment. In 2020, the National Road Operating and Construction Company Limited, NROC, sold 80% of its shares in the toll operator, raising approximately $11 billion. TJH is a wholly owned subsidiary of NROC and operates the East-West Toll Road under a concessionary agreement. A sense of normality has been restored to Spanish Town since the protests erupted in Torres Meadows, St. Catherine, following the fatal shooting of Othniel Loban, reputed leader of the One Order gang. He was killed during a police operation in St. Andrew on Wednesday night. But as the police pledge to restore order, Torres Meadows residents say the authorities have been hostile. Meanwhile, the communities of Ellerslie Pen and Torres Meadows in Spanish Town, St. Catherine are now under curfew. The Jamaica Constabulary Force says the curfew will remain until 6 p.m. Friday, January 24. Jamaica has signed an agreement with the Philippines focused on greater collaboration between the countries in addressing human resources challenges in healthcare. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tofton and Secretary of Public Health in the Philippines Dr. Teodoro J. Herbosa signed the Memorandum of Understanding on Health Cooperation at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston on Thursday. The Ministry of Health and Wellness held a career expo and employment fair at the University of the West Indies Mona campus this week, aimed at identifying persons to fill some 600 job vacancies in the health sector island-wide. Our news team was there and captured some of the events. Kingston's parish coordinator for the National Council on Drug Abuse, Anika Cunningham, says the expo was a good idea.
The reception has been great. A lot of persons want to be employed. A lot of persons seem to like the social services and want to give back to the country. A lot of persons want. I hope that we, have a drug-free Jamaica, and they're willing to contribute to that. So they have been receptive. The children also, it's new for them. They didn't know about this, and they're open to, trying this when they leave high school, venturing off into university to go into the social sciences.
She says they are slated to hire just about 300 staff over the next few years.
We have expanded since the integration under the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and we're filling those spots slowly but surely.
Public Health Inspector of the Year, Shauna K. Park, was busy sharing information about the areas where her agency gives service, such as vector control.
Our most dominant program that you can see active, because public health is often not seen, but one that you can see is definitely vector control and food safety. Those are the most prominent ones, but we have 9 areas, as I said before. So you see persons coming from home to throw some reagents in the drums to get rid of the wigglers. You can see we have over that side the fogging machine where we spray in the communities. You give us your complaints, we come to the premises and see how best we can assist with that.
We joined the curious attendants listening to Nurse Johnson from the Victoria Jubilee Hospital as she explains the process of giving birth.
We do a quick assessment, to ensure that everything is in place. So this is a normal head for the baby. The baby has 2 eyes, the nurse is patent, 2 ears. Look at the neck, the mouth, 2 arms.
So coming from delivery that Nurse Johnson just showed us, our babies will be one of these results. A normal birth, which is this older baby, or an abnormal birth, which is a premature baby. A normal baby would go to the mother, all right, in the postnatal area, and breastfeeding will be established immediately. But the premature baby, they will be staying in the neonatal care nursery a little longer. This baby needs to be held because they are born premature, so they are not fully developed. So one of the apparatus that we use is an amber bag, which helps with resuscitation. So we put it over the baby's face till the head, till the neck, ensure that we cover, and we pump this bag twice. And we do the chest twice to ensure that the baby gets enough oxygen and recovers quickly. Normally we have a team. I won't be here alone. We have a pediatrician, midwife, doctor, nurses, everybody will be on set to ensure that the baby recovers quickly, either transferred to an incubator or to a ventilator so that the baby can survive and the mother will be allowed to visit.
Oh, how many nurses are you hoping will be hired because of this expo? You're in the field. How many?
I'm hoping that we get at least 300 or more, or 1,000. Because we do have a need. We do have a need, and our aim is to really give quality care to our Jamaican population. I'm one of the pediatric nurses. I'm not thinking about going anywhere, but the reality that we face is that we really need to have enough person on board to ensure that quality care is given.
A team from the Bellevue Hospital was also present. Human Resource Manager Marlene Robinson listed the areas in need of personnel, and Janelle Reed-Brown explained what to expect from her specialty, occupational therapy.
We have vacancies for data protection officer, assistant auditor, occupational health and safety, driver, bearer, registered nurses, psychiatric nurses, to name a few.
If I'm a prospective employee, what would you tell me about the environment at your workplace? Is it a good environment?
Yes, it's a very good environment. As you would imagine, we are a psychiatric hospital, so we cater to the mental health. of both our staff and our patients. We have a lovely park that is designed for outdoors people that you want to sit, you want to eat, you want to just sit and look at nature. We have fish, we have birds, we have ducks.
So we offer assessments for persons who are seemingly having a mental disorder or a mental issue. We offer counseling services. Our psychology department is open to the public, and persons can schedule an appointment to see our psychologist. Our occupational therapy department, as you are seeing here, we have our patients who come to our department, both those who are in-house as well as outpatients. They come and they're engaged in some form of activity according to their choosing. So if you take a look at our table, you can see jewelry items that they have made, things that they have sewn. We do some academics with them. We do drama, music, and dance therapy, physical activities, a range of activities just to keep them engaged, to keep their cognitive space functioning as optimally as possible.
If you're interested in a career in medicine, you can apply for a scholarship in Cuba. The embassy's charge secretary, Annabelle Lamdron, explains.
Students have a deadline of March 5th to deliver the application, and it's a great opportunity to pursue studies in medicine, studies in nursing and health technologies. And we are also offering information regarding self-financial studies in a group of specialties, not only for undergraduate studies, but also for postgraduates in more than 30 specialties.
No less than 50%. That's the pass rate goal the Education Ministry is aiming for from the next group of students sitting mathematics in the CSEC exams. Permanent Secretary Dr. Kassan Troop outlined the ambitious target during a media briefing at the University of the West Indies, MONA's regional headquarters last Friday.
Only 33% of Jamaican students passed the CSEC mathematics exam in 2024, reflecting a regional decline with overall pass rates dropping from 43% in 2023 to 36% in 2024. The Ministry of Education, led by Permanent Secretary Dr. Kassan Troop, is aiming to improve Jamaica's pass rate to over 50% through targeted measures already being implemented in schools.
We have to extend learning for our students, and we have to support our teachers. We also have to improve accountability. Chairman alluded to that. It's very weak in the ministry, and I'm saying it publicly, very weak in the central ministry, very weak in our schools. We have work to do. Right? And of course, we have to now track performance and celebrate the gains. Those are the elements in the tactical approach, and we are in the field. 56 high schools are being focused on at the high school level. 189 primary schools are being focused on. Colleagues, this is difficult, but it must be done. We must move the 40% achievement in math to no less than 50%. And I'm making it public, because it must be done.
Dr. Troop says extending weekly class time for mathematics and English is a key strategy in the ministry's efforts to improve grades.
What we know work is extended learning hours. The more you do something, the better you do at it. And so what we have done this year is to zone in on those 56 schools. We have reworked their timetable because we have to look at the time that we have control over in the education enterprise. And so we have increased the time for math and English to no less than 5 hours per week, which means that the children should be doing math and English every single day for an hour at least.
She also emphasized the use of technological advancements in teaching as part of the ministry's efforts to achieve its desired outcomes.
Right now we have our developers. We have Ricardo in the room with us who is working with us. Teachers can now generate lesson plan, customize lesson plan in 30 seconds. You push in that data into our AI system, in our virtual school solution. You tell it what is happening with the children, what they need, the style of the child, and the system exports or puts out a report on how to teach this child.
Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Danita Rodney.
Time now for the Business Report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Fontana Limited has advised that the company has signed an agreement to acquire the Monarch chain of pharmacies from Girk Limited, potentially expanding its store footprint to 11 locations across Jamaica. The company anticipates the closing of this transaction during the third quarter, January to March 2025, with operational changes and integration into the existing Fontana network throughout the balance of 2025. The Jamaica Stock Exchange, JSE, formally launched its green bond market yesterday at the JSE's 20th Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston. Companies can now access funding from this new securities platform for green and sustainable development projects. The platform, which has been in the making for the last 4 years, was developed by the JSE in partnership with the Inter-American Development Bank and the United Nations Development Program. If you have visited the Hilo location near you, there is a juice bar ready to serve. Thea's Smoothies has been a staple for 18 years across 7 locations in Hilo. We speak to Thea McFarlane about her desire to invest in small business.
So we're here with Thea McPherson, who has made her name with juices, smoothies, healthy food. And we're here to ask a very, very simple question. Thea, why did you invest? 18 years ago, you had a vision. Why did you invest?
Okay, this is where it's possible to create your passion into a career. Okay. And this allows you to be successful, to be creative. It's about leaving a legacy. Leaving a legacy that impacts the community. It impacts your customers. It impacts your employees. And Jamaica is the best place for me to invest. I was living away, I was living abroad. I decided to come back to Jamaica, and it is one of the best decisions that I've made.
So what would you say to someone who is sort of maybe struggling with their business and, you know, they just need some encouragement, some motivation? What would you say?
What I would say is be persistent, dedicated, deliberate in your action, hard work. You will see the benefit, you will see the success. Once you enjoy what you're doing, first of all, you have to know that this is what you really want to do. And once you identify that, always push forward. It doesn't matter the obstacles, they will come. You find the solution and you go through. You will be successful.
Thank you so much, Thea McPherson, entrepreneur in the wellness industry and investor in her dream. For 18 years. Wow, thank you so much.
For the trading period ending January 23, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited shares with 1,502,537 units traded represented 15.20% of the market sales volume. Financial conglomerate JMB Group Limited 9.5% preference shares with 1,285,855 units traded represented 13.01% of market sales volume. Stationery and Office Supplies Limited with 1,053,081 units traded accounting for 10.65% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On January 23, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $66.95 million was purchased and US $53.68 million was sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.07 per dollar, selling the US at $157.61 and buying the US at $156.54. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $2.73 per transaction, selling at $110.68 and buying at $107.95. The British pound yielded Forex traders $7.36 in profits, with selling at $194.24 and buying at $186.88. For our credit report tip of the day, starting your own business after facing unemployment and debt may seem overwhelming. But with the right steps, you can establish strong business credit and set yourself up for success. Here's a roadmap to help you get started. Reinvest profits wisely. Show financial stability by reinvesting profits into your business instead of relying solely on credit. Stay patient and persistent. Building business credit takes time, but consistency and smart financial practices pay off.
In regional news, we start in Trinidad and Tobago. Thousands of micro, small, and medium-sized business owners have a new place to showcase their enterprises as the CLICO Credit Union launched its latest financial tool.
19,000 entrepreneurs, small business owners, and self-employed professionals who are members of CLICO Credit Union have a new ecosystem to showcase their products and services. Chief Executive Officer of the body, Holland Bronte Tinkew, believes this new venture will be of great benefit to both the businesses and the general public.
This business hub is more than just a platform. It is a catalyst for change. It offers business owners the opportunity to register, post products and services, advertise and connect with industry experts. It also offers consumers access to products and services offered by these businesses.
President of the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association, Roger Roach, is encouraging young business owners to make the fullest use of the platform.
Wherever you go, there are pockets of opportunity. And the opportunity you have in business, when you think about a hub, is that you can do business with each other.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Vashti Gayadeen, says the launch is a continuation of the credit union's almost 80 years of service to the community.
And with this initiative, you are expanding that legacy to empower the business community in new and innovative ways. In today's fast-changing world, business hubs are no longer optional. They are essential. For small island economies like ours, they serve as catalysts for growth, innovation, and resilience.
This newest business hub expects to be a place for ideas to be born, experiences to be shared, and partnerships to be forged. Terry Ann Brown Campbell, TTT News.
Beaches across Antigua and Barbuda and the region could soon face another wave of sargassum seaweed. The latest forecasts suggest the algae is on the rise again. Helisha Humphreys has more.
The return of the sargassum seaweed invasion has been forecasted.
Dependent on what the wind does and what wave direction does, we're likely to start to get glimpses of sargassum picking up in terms of its amount throughout the months, throughout the latter half or the latter part of January. We might start to see some, but by February, I'm pretty sure, unless things change, and I won't know until the end of January when I see the new satellite update.
Although 2024 was one of the years when the sargassum nuisance was not as severe as in the previous years, there was still a significant amount of the seaweed reaching shores across the region.
6.6 million tons of sargassum per month on average throughout the entire region. At this point, if you live along the coastline that gets affected by sargassum, you should have developed some some ways and means of dealing with it, right? You should have an idea of the best ways to clean your beach, and if not, you should reach out to the Department of Environment because they have some very good recommendations on that. You should have some ideas that if you're asthmatic, the kind of impacts it can have.
Camacho says, based on the sargassum maps, there is more sargassum now in the eastern and western Atlantic than there was in recent years. He says the last time the same level was recorded was in 2018-2019, with 2018 being the second worst year since the invasion began in 2011. 2022 is the worst year on record, but had less sargassum recorded on the maps. Camacho explains, though this year could be even worse, it is still too early to tell.
Normally, your northern and eastern shorelines are what gets affected greatest. But if you have shifting weather patterns, which has become increasingly more prevalent, particularly now in this increased rate of climate change, you can have different areas being affected by sargassum. So everyone really needs to pay attention to this.
Helisha Humphreys, ABS News.
Barbados is stepping up efforts to strengthen its early warning system for drugs to better inform policies and legislation. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs, Yvette Goddard, says the system tracks emerging drug trends, including new substances, usage patterns, and health risks. Speaking at a stakeholder meeting, Ms. Goddard emphasized that collaboration among law enforcement, public health, and community groups is key to addressing drug issues and shaping effective laws.
This real-time information allows policymakers to make informed decisions based on the latest evidence, rather than relying on outdated statistics or anecdotal reports. Secondly, targeted interventions. By identifying specific drugs or substances that are increasing in popularity or causing harm in particular communities, an EWS enables policymakers to design targeted interventions. These interventions can be tailored to address the unique challenges posed by specific substances, leading to more effective legislative responses. It is therefore critical that the relevant policy frameworks are established. In this regard, we as policymakers rely heavily on you, the practitioners, in many ways the experts, to inform us of new challenges and developments and point us in the right direction. These meetings represent our ongoing commitment to strengthening and increasing the capacity of each institution represented today.
In sports, we focus on cricket. West Indies middle order batsman Alec Athanaze acknowledged the inexperience of the men in maroon, which was laid bare in their 127-run defeat to Pakistan in the first test. But he reassured that they are not going to tinker with their approach too much ahead of the second test, which starts on Saturday.
Reflecting on the first test loss, Athanaze pointed to Pakistan's edge in experience.
I think the most experienced for us is our captain, and after that I think everybody has played 10 tests. So I think it's really about experience for us. Like I said, we are learning on the job, so I have no doubt that the second test will be better.
Athanaze is of the belief that the West Indies does not need to change too much in their approach to the second test.
I think it was entirely about execution, to be honest. I think if we look at most of the guys that scored runs on the wicket, they played a lot of sweeps and they played aggressive. It only looked that way because I think we didn't execute as well as we wanted to. But I think we would have a similar approach in terms of playing our sweeps and playing our shots. Obviously, we would have to assess the conditions first, but that would be the approach.
The only West Indies player to score a half-century in the first test, Athanaze acknowledged the confidence boost it provided.
It is currency, and that is what makes you feel good. But I mean, I felt good since the practice match, I'm not short of confidence, I would say, but obviously going into the next test, that would boost me up a bit, so I'm feeling good.
He acknowledged the difficulty of batting on Pakistani wickets, but is hopeful that his teammates look at the ball a bit longer and execute their game plans. With a renewed focus on adaptation and execution, the team looks to level the series and continue building confidence.
And that's the news on PBCJ. Have a pleasant weekend.